Arrowhead Lodge exists because men over 30 need a safe place where they can fall apart. What I mean by that is simply this. Number one, you create an atmosphere, an environment where they feel safe. Most men are not going to feel safe in an institutional environment. And Arrowhead Lodge is a very homey feel to it. It's a exquisite, lovely mountain retreat and is unlike any place you've ever seen. Second of all, we limit the age to men who are 30 and older. And this is real important because most treatment facilities are not age specific. So in one group, you'll have a group of 18, 19, and 20-year-olds who are the predominant makeup of that group, and there may be one man in that group who's over 30. Or they may have a 40 or 50 bed facility, and perhaps of that there may only be 5% of that population who are over 30. So they cannot relate to these younger individuals when it comes to issues such as marriage, family, children, career, etc. Men over 30 need to have a place where they can come and get treatment to not only deal with their addiction, their alcoholism, their drug addiction, their sex addiction. They need to have a place where they can feel comfortable not only talking about those issues, but just as important to be able to talk about sexual trauma, emotional trauma, combat trauma, workplace trauma, family trauma, where they can talk about guilt and shame and some very deep core emotional issues. We've had men who have come here and for the first time, the very first time, they've talked about things that they've never talked about before to anyone. We've had men who've been to treatment facilities 2, 3 times, maybe even more, and yet they've never felt safe enough in those environments to talk about deep emotional issues. We've had executives of corporations break down and cry in a group over a death that they've never been allowed to really grieve. You know, we men need to have a tough exterior, and we're not allowed to cry, we're not allowed to show emotion, we're not allowed to feel pain. It's just something we have to suck up and work through and carry on. But why? Because we're men. But at Arrowhead Lodge, we do away with the man rules. We tell them, put those rules away. Let's talk about what it is you're feeling. Feelings are common to both genders, and it's not that a woman feels something that men don't. It's just that the way men feel it and the way men don't express it is what is causing the toxicity in these men and causing them to want to self-medicate because these feelings have been there for years or decades and they've never done anything about it. Arrowhead Lodge is the place where they can come and do something about it. Our licensed professional therapists work directly with the men in group and individually to work through these core issues about what it is to be a man in sobriety in our society and how to be in a relationship, how to feel and express emotions safely and in a healthy way, and probably most important and most vital is to be able to gain a sense of their spiritual essence. There has to be spiritual recovery along with the mental and emotional recovery and along with the physical recovery. And we provide that place here at Arrowhead Lodge. And it's a safe place because it's all men and they talk about it in a group that's all men, and there's never more than 9 people in a group. So they get the opportunity to express these things safely in an environment that has got a professional therapist involved, and they're able to get these things out and heal and move forward and enjoy a life of happiness and hopefully a life of balance physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That's why Arrowhead Lodge exists.